So we are going to first, we only learn two basic things. So first we are going to learn the trigonometrical ratios of special angles. Now the catch is you cannot use calculator. So all your answers will either be as constant or insert form. So you cannot use calculator. So the question today is, how do we find then what are the ratios? Okay, secondly, we have to find, all right, cosine, sine, and tangent 90 minus theta. So what is it all about? What is the meaning of 90 minus theta? And we will do two examples, and then that's it for today, right? So let's start with this. In order to prove the trigonometric ratios of special angles, we will use these two triangles. One of them is an isosceles right angle triangle, and one of them is an equilateral triangle. Okay, why? Now, when it's isosceles right angle triangle, what is this length? This angle here? What will this angle be? 45. And hence, we have a special angle 45. So we'll use this 45. All right. And the length here is 1. And we let it be 1. Easy. It can be any number. We'll just use 1. Again, it can be any number, but we use the most basic value that we can have, so that you don't have to simplify. So what is the hypotenuse? What value will you get? Taking the value of? Are you following? 1 square plus 1 square is 2. A square plus B square is 2, right? So in order to find C, okay, some of you are quite confused. So C square equals to 1 square plus 1 square. Yep. So C square equals to 2, and hence C equals to square root of 2. Since it's a trigonometric ratio, we try to use right angle triangle, and this will be 1, 1. What? Again, basic angles, right? Basic values. So what angle will this be? 60 and 30, right? Why is this so? Why is it 60 and 30? Because it is an equilateral triangle. So what is the length here? No. Okay, so the length here will be 2, 2, and the purpose is to find the vertical length. The vertical length is, are you able to do it mentally? Can you do it mentally? Can, okay, so the answer is square root 3. 2 square minus 1 square. 2 square minus 1 square is 3. Square root 3. Question is, why do you think I leave a gap here? Yeah, we are going to write in, thank you very much, we are going to write in radian. So what is the radian for 30 degrees? 5 over 2. Okay, very easy one, very easy. I teach you. Pi is 180, right? Yeah. So 180 divided by what will give you 60? Or 30 rather, sorry. 6. So 180 divided by 6, right? So it will be pi over 6. 180 divided by 6. 180 divided by 6. Pi is 180 degrees. 30 degrees, I divided by 6. I divided by 6. Okay, so that's the conversion for pi and, pi radian to 180 degrees. That's the conversion. Okay, so we speed this up a bit. So what will we get for 45? Pi over 4. Very easy. Pi is 180. 180 divided by 4 is 45. 180 divided by what gives you 60? Pi over 3. So the rest are the same. Pi over 6, pi over 4, pi over 3, pi over 6, pi over 4, and pi over 3. Now, how do I find sine pi over 6? So it's sine 30. So you look for this triangle here, sine 30, opposite over hypotenuse. What's the answer? 1 over 2. Okay, I will show you 3 only, then I'll teach you a shortcut. Now, sine 45. Look at here, sine 45. Doesn't matter which one you use, you get the same answer. Sine 45, opposite, over hypo, 1 over root 2 is not the final answer. You must rationalize the denominator. Do you all remember how to rationalize the denominator? Times square root 2 times square root 2. So you have square root 2 over 2. So how do I get that again? Times square root 2 times square root 2. All right. And finally, I want cosine 30. So let's look for 30. All right, that's sine 60. Sorry, sine 60. Yeah, sine 60 first. Sine 60 will be opposite over hypo root 3 over 2. Okay. It is very, very, very tiring to draw a triangle and to come up with the answers. So let me teach you a very fast method. Can you take out a calculator, please? Take out a calculator. I want you to press in degree mode, everyone, and you must follow. Repeat again. So cosine 30, you get a very funny number, right? 0.8 something, right? Okay, can you square that number? Can you square it? Just press square. Okay, now you see the trick is this. It is 3 over 4. But you square it, right? So can you root it back? If I root the top and I root the bottom, what do I get? Root 3 over 2. That's how you get the special angles. Okay. Okay, can you press cosine 45? Can you press cosine 45? Okay, after you square it, it's 1 over 2. So you need to root it back. So you root the top, you root the bottom, and I told you this is unacceptable. It's root 2 over 2. Okay, this is the only one you need to convert by far. Okay, let's try cosine 60. It's just 1/2. Hey, please, it's already 1/2. Can you go and square it and then square root back? It's very dumb. Okay, just leave it as half. You only square those numbers that are very ugly. Okay, tangent 30. What do you get? Tangent 30 is an ugly number, right? Can you square it? When you square it, it's 1/3. Okay, so you got 1 over root 3. But again, this one also not acceptable. So times root 3 is root 3 over 3. Okay, if you don't believe me, look at tangent 30. Tangent 30 is here, right? Opposite over adjacent. Okay? Now the last two, tangent 45, press calculator, tangent 45. Okay, it's just one, right? So can you please don't go and do anything. Whenever you get a nice number, just write down the number. Now the very last one, tangent 60, the last special angle. Square root is 3 it's 3, correct? It's 3, right? So you square it. So after that, square root back, you just root 3 over 1, which is root 3. That's why the calculator show root 3. Okay, now let's try this question now. Yeah, I'll give you some time. What do you think is the answer? Write down the value here, the value here, and the value here. Now the question is, why must I write down the value? If you don't write down the value, then everybody knows you use calculator, what? Okay, you all put root 2 over 2. What about cosine 30? You all should practice, root 3 over 2. I told you, just press calculator. Just square it, and then square root back. Okay, sine 60. Sine 60 will be root 3 over 2. Okay, now if it's a 2 marks question, do you still need to do simple common denominator and so on and so forth? Just press calculator. Okay? So you know that this disappear. So I will have square root 2 over 2 square root 3. Okay, why? This is over 2 over 2 over 2. So the over 2 over 2 over 2, logically speaking, should cancel off. If you don't know, you just do the super long method, just cannot use calculator, that's it. Okay, so square root 2 over square root 3 plus square root 3, so 2 of them. Yes, you must rationalize. Otherwise, that was so easy. Okay, when I rationalize, what must I multiply? Okay, so root 3 and root 3. So what is at the numerator now? Final answer? Root 6 over 6. Don't believe me, just press calculator. Now, sine theta, let's call this A, B, and C, right? Our favorite. So what is the ratio here? Can you tell me the letters? Okay. What about cosine theta? Hey, come on now. Sine theta A over C, cosine theta also A over C. B over C. And the final one, tangent theta?
Yes.
Purposely on A opposite over adjacent. Okay, now the question is, where is my 90 minus theta? From if you don't know, you should know after today. 90 minus theta is the other one. But I tell you, I don't want to use O and H because I know that my second part of the lesson is I'm going to change the reference angle, right? So now the O and H change already. I'm not going to do this, I'm going to do the red one. So now this becomes the O, this becomes the H, right? Okay, now I'm going to do this. What is cosine of this? Sorry, cosine of this. I want adjacent over hypo. What letter is adjacent? Just write A. What letter is the hypo? C. Okay, sine. The red color. What letter is opposite? What letter is hypo? Finally, what letter is opposite over adjacent? A. Adjacent. I'm at tangent already. I'm two step. B over A. What is the conclusion? Can we conclude now?
That's not the conclusion.
I do this. What is the conclusion? Yes, sine theta is equals to cosine 90 minus theta. They are the same values. Can you please memorize this? I said it in the video, so I already tell you to go and memorize. Next, what's the second conclusion? Hey, come on, what's the second conclusion? Cosine theta equals to? Okay, you can use words like complement or you can just write sine 90 minus theta. Now, what about tangent theta? Tangent theta, what is the relationship? That is the reciprocal of tangent 90 minus theta. Okay, can you do this now? Which is square root 5 over your hypo, which is 3. Yes, Sishen? Tangent x is opposite. What number? Over adjacent. Yes, root 5. I say the root a bit louder. Now, is this the final answer, class? Okay, gang, go down. Arisa, rationalize this. What do I get? Just give me the rationalized form. Yes, 2 root 5 over 5. Okay, I'm really not interested in this number at all. Okay, let's go down. Okay, V shape. C. What is this? Now the reference angle has swapped. Square root 5 over, say properly? No. Hypo. 3, correct. You realize that sine 90 minus x is the same as cosine x. You can also use it. And finally, now, some of you write this as 1 over tangent x, opposite over adjacent. What's the opposite? Root 5 over 2. Okay. All right, can we stop the video? Okay, that's it.